wanted to share that so that it would give you a little confidence to be like, wow, Shayla, that does sound like an epic failure. But the thing that I do want to do, I'm a little bit nervous to do, and now that I've heard your story, I'm going to do it. Hey guys, my name is Shayla. Welcome to my channel. If this is your first time here, I talk about motherhood, I talk about pregnancy. We do things kind of natural, kind of hippie, kind of granola. If you're into that, please subscribe. If you're not new here, welcome back. I have a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old. I just posted a video saying that we were gonna pause on if we were having a third child. We are still undecided, but very adamant about a 2-year age gap, and so that's like now. And then I was like, you know what? Once I let go of that age gap, I was able to be way more present with my girls, and like life just started to flow. And so we are on that train. So I'm saying that because my content was a lot of pregnancy, motherhood. Now it's gonna be mostly motherhood and like our experience and like figuring out life. So part of that is I want to get out and do things. So before I had children was a full-time traveler. That's how I started this channel. That's what I did. I loved getting out and traveling and doing things. So I really want to do that with my girls. But sometimes it's super intimidating to like do that, to get out, to get away from the nest, to get away from the toddler-proofed house, be in the car for extended times, to go on an airplane with other humans, to like have them sleep in a different spot. What if you forget the sound machine? Like there's a lot of anxiety about doing that. And so I'm giving you this video to say, we did it. I would say it was not ideal and that I would do it again. I would do it again because I learned stuff. I want to do this. This is something that I want to do. It wasn't as epic failure as you think it's going to be. It all works out. It's fine. So I'm making this video to tell you about our experience, why it didn't go as well as it could have, to give you a little bit of confidence to say, even if you do it and it fails, it's a win because you did it and you went out there and you're going to learn something new and your kids are getting used to things and you're giving them experiences. So let's just get into it. I've learned, because I live in Minnesota, and in Minnesota, it's freaking cold in the wintertime. You've got kind of a nice spring, and then it's freaking hot in the summertime. And I mean like negative degrees in the winter. Like it hovers around 0, but it can go to like negative 30 Fahrenheit. Spring's beautiful. Summer is like 100% humidity, 100 degrees. And then you've got fall. So I have learned recently that I get pretty low mood in the wintertime. And now that it's spring, I'm like, life, I am just alive and well. But I've also learned that I need something to look forward to. So I was just like, nose down. We're gonna have baby after baby after baby. We'll figure out fun things once we get through the grind. And then I was like, or we could just like enjoy this. So now that we're taking a pause, I was like, let's plan things. And so Seth and I always try and like obviously do things for each other for birthdays or Father's Day or whatever. So Father's Day was coming up and I was like, let's go on a little Minnesota staycation. Fun. Yeah. So I looked up this place, got it all booked. Good to go. Looking forward to this. I can't wait for this. There were a few things that went wrong. First things first, Seth works shift work and he tried to flip a schedule, which we should have known that that was not gonna work. We should have just planned on like leaving in the afternoon. I don't know. I was so set on we have to drive during Ezzy's nap so that she sleeps in the car so that she's not awake for an hour and a half in the car. So he woke up significantly earlier than he needed to. He got like, you know when you don't get enough sleep and you have like that upset stomach? That's what he had. So he was exhausted. But we made it there. Ezzy took a 40-minute nap. Normally it's like an hour and a half. We get there. This place is tiny. It's got 2 beds. It's like a camper. A table, a kitchen, and then the bathroom. It's perfect for like a couple or like one person who needs to get away and like write a book by themselves. It's very much about disconnecting, which is great. But when you have a partner that doesn't feel well, and I booked it so there's like bunk beds, these girls, like when I say get away from like your toddler-proofed area, they were like trying to climb the ladder over and over and over and over and over. Do you know how exhausting it is to just sit there and make sure that they don't fall off the ladder? Pretty exhausting. There was no like, oh, let's just relax. No. There was like this really nice shower that they like to sit in. And that was great because they couldn't fall off anything. There were no sharp edges. It was just a contained shower. So they went in there and played in there for a little bit. That was great. But he was so tired, he needed a nap. I was like, okay, you need to take a nap. This is so obvious in retrospect, but I don't know, I just wasn't thinking about it. If you're going to rent a place with kids, always make sure that there's a bedroom where you can shut the door. Some people will put like their pack and play in the bathroom. I nurse my babies to sleep, so that's not really an option for us. So we need a bedroom with a door. So that like, if Seth needs to take a nap, no problem. You go in there, turn on the sound machine, you do your thing, we'll do our thing out here. Before Seth took his nap, we all went out together on like a little nature walk. We had the like mosquito stickers, which actually are really good if you've seen them on Instagram. I think they work pretty well. You put them on like your shoes and then it keeps them away from your ankles. We also had spray that the place had provided. Nothing. That meant nothing to these mosquitoes. My kids look like they have chicken pox. They have so many mosquito bites. So we quickly turned around, came back, Seth took a nap, and I was like, okay, what are we gonna do? We tried to just like quietly play, which was really stressful because I'm like trying to make sure that he's trying to get enough sleep, and there's literally 3 feet between us. He can sleep like a rock, so that was good. But that was like trying to make sure that he can sleep, trying to make sure they don't climb up the ladder. Like, it was just a lot of chaos, and we really just needed to get outside, but there's too many mosquitoes outside, and it was just a little bit long. So we went to the grocery store to get some food for like the next couple days. Came back, had a little bonfire, and it was like time for bed. The girls went to bed, great. That's like always been my number one fear, is like, how are they gonna sleep here? But we co-sleep. So for me, as long as they got me, we're sleeping. We're sleeping great. Girls fell asleep exceptionally well. So Seth and I were like, well, let's try and go sit by the fire. Maybe it's not so bad. He's just getting eaten alive. You know how some people, like, the mosquitoes don't want to eat, and some people, the mosquitoes want to eat, like, just gnaw on you? They were after Seth. I was good. And I was like, do you want to go sit in the car? He's like, yes. So that's what we did. We went and sat in the car with our baby monitor and just, like, hung out, ate some chips, had some salsa. And Seth and I are like go with the flow people. Like, when we first met, we met on Bumble. We hung out for 3 weeks, then I left for 3 months. Remember, I used to travel full time? I lived in Greece for 3 months. We FaceTimed, and I was like, I think I'm gonna stop in Ireland on my way home from Greece. He's like, I'll meet you there. So he meets me in Ireland. We rent a camper van, and we get there with literally no plans. We don't even have like a place that we're gonna park the camper van. We just like go. We ask the restaurant rep for a napkin, and we look through our like list of places that we've been kind of looking at and like map out where they are on this napkin. And then we figure out our route. That's how we decided what we were gonna do in Ireland. And then we just drove. Sometimes it'd be 10 p.m. and we hadn't had dinner and we had nowhere to park the van, and we just had to figure it out. Like, we just wing it. That's just our MO. So for Seth to be off of his game made it difficult because it made it hard to wing it. Because I was winging it with somebody who was just like needed to sleep. Ugh. So we talk about it, and he's like, Shay, we're supposed to stay for 2 nights. He is having a tough time. I'm like, okay, we can go back a day early. This is what I'm saying. Do it anyway, even if the plans get messed up. Because he's like stressed. He's like, you plan this thing, I don't want to ruin it. I just don't feel well. I don't know what to do, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, listen, Seth, it's a Father's Day gift. I want you to be happy. If this is not bringing you joy, then we're going to go home early. And here's the plan. You're going to sleep in the morning. I'm going to take the girls out. We'll come back, we'll kind of pack things up, and then we'll head home for the nap. He's like, okay, thanks, Shay. I'm like, got you, boo. You gotta make sure that who you're working with, you are like doing well with, or whatever, that you're both considering each other too. You want everyone to be happy. In the morning, they wake up at like 6:30. I'm like, shh, try to get him. Like, Dad's still sleeping. We gotta put the socks on, put the shoes on, like get out. Get out. We find this like small town cafe. Like, you walk in, she's like, you need coffee? I'm like, yes. So she gives us a coffee. She's got a coloring book. She gives her the whole coloring book that's already kind of colored in. People are walking in and they're like, I'll take the regular. And she's like, scrambled eggs with bacon. And they're like, yeah. And she's like, cool. It's so small town feel, and I love it. And so I'm just sitting there with my girls. We eat some stuff. Food's going everywhere. Cran's going everywhere. You're the calm, Mama. You are the calm. They will follow your vibe. Do that, and then we leave, and I realize that I need more coffee. So I find a Caribou, which is like Minnesota's version of Starbucks. We also have Starbucks, but that's like the local one. Go to Caribou, get us a coffee, and this is where we start to wing it. There's a lake across from the Caribou. So Aaliyah puts on her rain jacket, which is perfect because then the mosquitoes can't get her. And I strap Izzy to my back, and we're off. And we're walking down the road. There's like semis going by. We're on the sidewalk just walking to get to the lake. Get to the lake, walk down the dock, check out the dock. We find a broken bobber, like just like this little tiny little adventure. And that's what I'm trying to say is like, that counts. Kids like that. My kids like that. She loves to say, let's go on an adventure. So we just do that, and we just like find stuff, and we just like explore, and we ask questions, and we learn. And we see a spider web, and we learn that bugs fly in there and then the spiders eat them. There's just so much to just like find. I enjoy doing that kind of stuff. If that's not your jam, don't try and make it your jam. Like, I follow people on Instagram where I'm like, oh, she has like a sauna that's a mile from her house, and she just like hikes there in the snow and then go. And then I was like, I actually would hate that. Like, I would like to do it with 5 of my friends, but not by myself. Even just watching this, you're like, oh, you went camping by your kids and you just explored and found spider webs? If that sounds like your nightmare, don't try and do that. Figure out what you want to do and bring your kids along. That's what I'm trying to say. So after that, we went back to the van. So I kept telling Aaliyah about the waterfalls. So the dam was the waterfall that we went and saw and whatever, and it's a dam. It's a rock dam. And we walked across the rocks and then walked back. And then it was like 10 o'clock and I was like, all right, let's go get Dad before as he falls asleep. Drive home as he falls asleep. So she takes a nap in the van. I go inside the camper. We kind of are getting things started, and then we went home. I just remember in the morning when we woke up before we went to the cafe, Aaliyah goes, Mom, how fun is this? And I was like, the most fun? I don't know. I just really liked it. I liked the change of scenery. I liked the change of pace. I didn't like that Seth felt crummy because that was like a huge bummer for him. But I just think that it's worth it. Like, now we know, never get a place that doesn't have a bedroom door. Plan better for the schedule. Just plan to go in the afternoon and let him get his sleep. Maybe we need to do weekend vacations, just me and the girls for now, until his schedule hopefully changes. There's just a lot of factors, and you just have to decide what works best for you. You don't know those things until you do them, and then you do it again, and then you refine even further, and then you do it again, and you refine even further, and then you do it again. Now your kids are older and things are going to change again. So what I'm saying is, we had to come home a day early. My kids look like they've got chicken pox now. There were just a lot of things that went wrong, but I had a blast. And if you ask the kids, as far as they're concerned, they went on a long road trip. They got to stay in this cool cabin with these huge windows that had shades that they got to pull. They got to go on little adventures by the lake. They got to wear their rain suit. They got to walk across these rocks. There were so many things that they got to do that they had no idea that things were kind of stressful and chaotic and whatever. They just got to enjoy this new experience. So if you're dabbling or trying to think if you want to go camping or go on a trip or go do things, know that things are not going to go the way you want. Know that things are going to fall apart. And if they don't, amazing. And if they do, you are expecting it, you're happy that you went anyway, just try and stay calm, because I feel like most of the problem comes from our own anxiety beforehand and then during. If your kids are screaming on the plane, who cares about everyone else? They can be angry. And that's just that. Your responsibility is to tune into your kid and try and make them feel better. Because by doing that, you're helping everyone else too. It's hard to do. It's hard when everything is just kind of chaotic and your kids aren't listening and things are going crazy, but just trying to connect with your kids, reconnect with your kids, and just think about how happy you are that you got your kids out into this experience. I just wanted to share that so that it would give you a little confidence to be like, wow, Shayla, that does sound like an epic failure and something that I would never want to experience. But the thing that I do want to do, I'm a little bit nervous to do, and now that I've heard your story, I'm going to do it. I hope you go and do it. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.